Let's see if you can figure out how to solve this basic high school math word problem. All right, so here is the problem. A flagpole 3 meters tall cast a shadow 5 meters long. At the same time, a tree nearby cast a shadow of 62 meters. So the question is, how tall is the tree? All right, now feel free to use a calculator, but if you think you know the answer, put that into the comments section. Now, in order to solve this problem, we're going to have to understand some basic geometry and algebra. Now, before we get into the full solution, if you're looking for math help, make sure to check out my full math courses. I'm going to leave links to them in the description of this video. But let's go ahead and get into the problem. And anytime you're dealing with any word problem, I have the rule of 3. Okay, now I just kind of made this rule up, but this is my own personal rule, and if I got to do this, you definitely have to do this because I've been teaching math and studying math for decades. And the rule of 3 is don't do any math until you read the problem at least 3 times. Okay, so the first time, just read the problem, get a basic sense of what's going on. The second time you read the problem, start thinking about, how can you maybe solve the problem? And then the third time, make sure you understand precisely what the question is in the problem. Because oftentimes, math students, they'll read the problem, they'll start doing math, they do a lot of great math, but guess what? They don't answer the right question. So we have this flagpole situation, we have a tree nearby. We need to really kind of interpret what's going on, take this problem from words and translate it into a model, okay, a visual model. And anytime you can use a model, kind of draw a sketch, a little diagram of what's going on, that is excellent. So let's go to do this in this case. So we have this flagpole that's 3 meters tall. So let's draw a little flagpole and its shadow of 5 meters. And then we'll put a tree nearby and we'll show a little shadow of 62 meters for that tree. And again, the question is how tall is the tree? Okay, so let's go and take a look at my little sketch. Now yours doesn't have to be as fancy as this, but here is the ground, here is our flagpole, here is our nearby tree. So here is our flagpole and here is the shadow for the flagpole. Okay, so the flagpole is 3 meters, the shadow is 5 meters, and then we have this tree. At the same time, this tree is casting a shadow of 62 meters. Now, just to be super technical about this, right? This is like a little snapshot in time. So here's the sun. The sun is moving, right? The sun is moving from east to west. So it's always moving in the sky, which means that the shadow is going to be constantly moving. So we kind of have to make some or assume some simplification of this problem. So this is one snapshot in time. So this flagpole is casting the shadow at the same moment this tree is casting this shadow. Now there's another assumption that we have to make, and that is that the flagpole is perpendicular to the ground. And that's not in the problem, but we need to kind of assume that, right? So when you're taking like a basic geometry course, it won't say it necessarily. Sometimes it will be very clear, oh, the flagpole is perpendicular to the ground, but you're not going to draw a little bent flagpole like so, and you're going to be like, hey, teacher, how do I know that this flagpole wasn't bent over? Because that would, of course, change the problem. And same thing with this tree, right? So, this tree, we, of course, in nature, trees grow all kinds of crazy ways. But again, when it comes to mathematics, just simplify the problem. So we're going to assume that the tree trunk, the tree here, is also perpendicular to the ground, i.e. it's forming a right angle like so. All right, so this is the basic situation. And what we want to know is the height of the tree. So how can we think about the solution here? Like, what can we do here? Well, what we want to do is construct this problem, this model, which is a pretty good interpretation of the actual word problem, but we need to kind of take a look at this at even more of a simplification, right? Like just kind of distill down exactly what's going on. So here's our flagpole, and here's the shadow. Here's the tree, and here is its shadow. So let's turn these into triangles. Okay, so we're just simply going to connect the shadow to the top of the flagpole, and then the shadow over here to the top of the tree. So what we have is two similar triangles. Okay, now similar, and this is a little symbol for similar in geometry, means that these triangles are effectively copies of one another. In other words, here is a shape. If I zoom out, right, let's suppose I got my little cursor and I just kind of drug my mouse and I made a larger copy of this shape. Well, these two figures, these two triangles would be similar. Okay, so here you can kind of take a look at these triangles are effectively the same triangle. They're just one's a smaller version of the other, or one's a larger version of the other. So we're talking about similarity. Okay, now why is that the case? Because the sun is over here in this little time, whatever proportion of the height of something and its shadow, the sun is going to cast the same proportion. The shadow of something at this moment in time is not going to be a different proportion than something else that's perpendicular to the ground. Hopefully that makes sense. And but this being said, now what we're dealing with is two similar triangles. So in geometry, if you know you're dealing with two similar triangles, then we know that the sides of these similar triangles are in proportion, okay? Which means that, for example, this the height to the shadow, which I can express as a ratio as 3/5, is the same proportion, or it's the same ratio as the height of this tree, which is x, to its shadow, which is 62. Okay, so here is a ratio and here is a ratio. And when you're dealing with similar triangles, these two fractions are going to be equal. Okay, these ratios we can solve for in a proportion. In other words, we can set these equal to one another. So the height of something to its shadow is always going to be equal. So the height is going to be equal to its shadow. So 3/5 is going to be equal to x over 62. So we can set up this lovely proportion right here. 3/5 is equal to x over 62. So again, the sides of similar triangles, the respective sides, corresponding sides, excuse me, that's the word I was looking for, are going to be in proportion. Okay, so what that means is we can set up these proportions and solve. And remember, in mathematics, a proportion is two equal fractions. And to solve a proportion, okay, we just simply multiply across. So 5 times x is going to be equal to 3 times 62. And we can solve very easily for x. Let's go and do that right now. So we're going to be using the cross product. So 5 times x is 5x. And that's going to be equal to 3 times 62. So we'll write it that way. So 3 times 62, we can go into our lovely calculator, is 186. So 5x is equal to 186. So to solve for x, I'm simply going to divide both sides of the equation by 5, and 186 divided by 5 is 37.2. And again, remember, we are dealing with meters, okay? The height and the shadows were in meters, so you cannot forget the unit of measure. So the height of the tree is 37.2 meters, right? So if you put 37.2, but you forgot to put the meters in, your teacher could very well take a point or two off, and then you would have this look like this. You'd be very upset, and you'd be like, boy, I should have listened to that guy on YouTube. I forget what his name was, but he was indeed right. So remember, if if you do follow my videos, or you've watched this video, thank you very much. Anything I tell you comes from experience, decades and decades of teaching mathematics and studying mathematics. So when I emphasize something, it's probably a good idea that you just kind of take it on board if you're interested in doing the best you can in mathematics. Okay, so if you need more help with this type of problem, check out my full geometry course at my Math Help program. I go over all types of similarity problems. I get into a lot more stuff that you need to know, but this is a pretty typical basic geometry problem that all of you should be able to handle rather easily. Okay, so with that being said, I definitely wish you all the best in your mathematics adventures. Thank you for your time, and have a great day.